Within the past 2-3 years max, I have discovered that I am quite the fan of a massive alligator, crocodile or caiman when it comes to horror movies. Like, the bigger, the better. So when I watched Lake Placid back at the start of summer, quite a few people slid into my comment section and told me that I should watch Rogue from 2007. So when I checked out this movie, it is safe to say that my brain thought, if anybody is going to do justice to a massive alligator movie, it's going to be Australia. But if you don't know anything about Rogue from 2007, let me quickly fill you in. Rogue from 2007 is an Australian creature feature horror. An American journalist joins a few tourists as they cruise the river in the Kakadu National Park. When their boat is attacked by a massive creature, they find themselves trapped on a rapidly flooding mud island while being chased by a 23-foot crocodile. If you're new here, I go by Hordes, and if you're not new, welcome back. I talk about horror movies here on my channel on Mondays and Fridays, but as always, when it comes to watching horror movies that I have never seen before, I am now going to go and watch Rogue from 2007 off camera. So that way, if you too want to watch this movie about an enormous crocodile, nothing will be spoilt for you, because nobody wants to watch a movie that you've just watched somebody else watch from start to finish, and I keep it spoiler free here on my channel because nobody, and I mean nobody, likes spoilers.
I can't swim.
Why is it always a middle-aged white man with an entitlement complex that nearly gets everybody killed in creature feature horror movies? Like, you need the full trifecta. You need middle-aged white man thinks that he is far superior to absolutely everybody else there. Like, looking at you, man in the yellow shirt in this movie.
You're a bad, bad man.
This is probably the most tense creature feature movie that I have actually seen in a while, which is a good thing, because the creature is established, which is our massive 25-foot crocodile, very quickly in the beginning, and then it just continues to build on the fact that this thing is going to be a threat the entire time. Only stupid people underestimate a creature that has been around for over 200 million years on the planet, and that is me like lowballing. They've been around for at least 250 million years. Kate, our tour guide in this movie, actually tells those that are on the boat that crocodiles learn the routines of their prey, and this is in fact true. But did you also know that they can climb trees, and fully grown adult crocodiles can actually climb 6 feet and have been known to sit in trees? So here are some cute pictures, because look at how adorable they look sitting in trees.
And you're adorable.
I'm adorable!
Plot-wise, it is very straightforward and very easy to follow, so my version of it without actual spoilers simply goes: a group of tourists see a flare go up while they are on the boat heading back towards shore. They go and investigate, and in the meantime accidentally find themselves in the territory of a massive crocodile who obviously does not want them there. So their boat gets attacked and they end up stranded on a mud island in the middle of a tidal river, which means this island is slowly going to disappear underwater. So the plot then becomes, how do we escape this thing? Because the only way to get out of our situation is to cross through its territory. Sounds simple, but this is a crocodile movie. We're not talking about a movie where the enemy is a really big fish. So there is nothing quite like a high tension situation to actually make you work with your fellow peers, which is what happens in this. And I really like that the group actually rallies around and helps each other out. Yes, it takes 2 deaths, including just the one person that I wasn't a fan of in the character roster, so no, I didn't miss him at all, so that certainly made the movie more appealing once his character was gone. But I will say, if they had used Kevin the dog as bait, I single-handedly would have offered to feed them all to my new best friend, the 23-foot crocodile.
But it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
I am, though, going to take half a star off for the fact that Kevin the dog gets eaten on camera as well, which makes it even worse. Like, you can kill as many people as you want in a horror movie. I have no problems with that, but leave the pets alone, and as it's my channel, I make the rules. It does have a really great action-adventure soundtrack, and it reminds me very much of the movie The Mummy from 1999 in the sense of It's got that same kind of like vibes and feel to it, but it's also incredibly complementary to what is happening on screen at the time. The practical effects, I think, have also aged really well. There is a scene where somebody loses a few fingers, I won't say how, and I think that has aged really well. I think the fact that the crocodile has been done partly as a practical mechanical crocodile also goes massively in this movie's favour. But the CGI scenes with the crocodile, they haven't aged as well, and you can certainly see when it's the animatronic / mechanical crocodile and when it's the CGI crocodile. So that's one of the small things that I have an issue with, but besides that, not really having any big issues with this movie. This is a rare case where I don't feel like I need to do a lot of talking about this movie, because if you watch Rogue, it does all the talking for itself. It feels more like an action-adventure movie that has been paired with a creature feature horror, so I think that it is a lot more marketable, and I think that a lot more people will actually enjoy this movie for that reason. It is only a 15 rated here in the UK, so while it does have the occasional gory moments, they are not the goriest things that you have ever seen from a creature feature horror, so if you're not a massive fan of gore, this might be a fairly decent shout as well. Most of the killing blows actually from our crocodile happen off camera as well, and I think I would have personally liked it more if at least one of them had happened on camera rather than Kevin the dog being eaten on camera instead. Just a me thing here maybe, but I also didn't know until I'd finished watching this movie that it is actually based on an actual real life incident.
Are you serious?
Back in the 1970s, there was a crocodile who was named Cassius, who used to swim around in one of the rivers not too far outside of Darwin, Australia, and he used to attack boats. It wasn't until 1984, though, that he was actually placed into captivity, and he actually held the record until 2012 for being the largest crocodile in captivity. And I just think that's really cool that when they actually made this movie, he was the largest crocodile in captivity. In the end, I am actually going to give Rogue from 2007 a 4 out of 5 stars, making it the best croc / gator movie that I have actually reviewed on my channel. I am yet to find my perfect croc / gator movie, so feel free to drop any recommendations for them down in the comments, because I will go away and look them up. But Rogue is a solid movie, and yes, I was serious about taking off half a star for killing a pet. But it does turn out to be correct with my suspicion at the beginning, and that is, if you want a solid crocodile movie, Australia is the way to go. So there you have it, my initial thoughts and my review for my first time watching Rogue from 2007. If you've also seen this movie, I would love to know what your thoughts and opinions are on it down in the comments section down below. And if this is one you are interested in watching, I will leave a link to justwatch.com like I always do in my description bar, so you can find out where it is streaming in your country. If you would like to know where else you can find me though, I am also over on Instagram and Letterboxd at HordesOfHorror, where so far this year I have watched over 160 horror movies, so there is plenty that I haven't spoken about right here on YouTube. But speaking of YouTube, I will be back on Friday with another movie review, and it will be another one of the movies that was recommended to me by you from my 21 in 31 challenge that I am doing throughout the month of October. I have no idea which one it's going to be yet, so you'll have to come back later and find out what it's going to be. So until next time, bye.